Of course he does.
Well, what DMT is, it's a human neurotransmitter. It's the most powerful psychedelic known to man. Your own brain produces it. It's actually responsible for dreaming. When you're in heavy REM sleep and right at times of extreme stress when your body thinks it's going to die, that's when your brain pumps out the most DMT. And it's responsible for near-death experiences, UFO abductions, all that stuff. And I've done it about 7 times. It's pretty intense. I mean,
that makes sense. Near death, right, man?
Well, yeah, near-death experiences, and it's responsible for UFO abduction experiences because the idea is that an endogenous dump of DMT is that it's stored in a pineal gland, and the pineal gland is literally your third eye. It's exactly where the third eye is in Eastern mysticism, like right between the 2 eyebrows, and it actually has a retina and a cornea and a lens in reptiles, and it produces DMT. And DMT, even though it's the most powerful psychedelic drug known to man, it's in every single ecosystem all over the world. It exists in plants and grasses, and it's everywhere. I mean, it's really the craziest drug to be illegal everywhere because everyone's got it in their system. It's like everyone's holding. That was like Terrence McKenna's line. Yeah. And it's pretty intense stuff, man. If you do it, you will talk to intelligent beings from other dimensions, for real. I mean, it sounds crazy. You would think that if there's something like that, that it would be on the front page. It's amazing that people don't know about it. I mean, it's the most incredible experience. I mean, we are such an experience-obsessed society. I mean, everybody wants to go whitewater rafting, and people want to talk about, you know, my uncle climbed Mount Everest. It's all about experiences. We all want to ride roller coasters and see the craziest movies. There is a little powder, and you smoke this little powder, and it will change the way you look at everything. You won't care about UFOs. And if a UFO landed right out there, I'd be like, wow, yeah, they're probably from another planet. Whatever. It's not DMT. DMT is 100,000 times crazier than that. It's like mushrooms times 1,000,000 plus aliens. That's what it's like. And literally, I mean, it sounds, it's crazier than you could possibly imagine or describe. If you take DMT, you will communicate with something. And it's so beyond description that me talking about it is like trying to explain a kaleidoscope to a blind man. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like, there's no way you could explain it. I mean, it's so beyond anything you can explain. But something communicates with you when you do this stuff. And my words do it no justice.
You would take it on a plane?
No, it's not something. It's not recreational, and it's not something you can take on a plane because you have to smoke it. You know, and you wouldn't want to be around people and noises or anything. You'd want to be in total darkness,
desert or
silence, and you want to just experience that.
Can you have bad trips on DMT?
Sure, you can have bad trips in anything, but bad trips are usually you trying to resist and your ego trying to control the situation, and you realizing what a piece of poo you really are. You know, like your ego protects you from a lot of your terrible behavior, and it justifies a lot of things you do. But man, when mushrooms or DMT or anything that removes the ego, it just shows you what your life is really like and who you really are. That's where the bad trips come from. Bad trips don't come from happy people with wonderful lives or loving families or nice to everybody. Bad trips come from people who are doing bad things, or they're insecure, or they have real bad problems in their past that they're squashing and they're not dealing with, and then it just wham, just comes right up to the surface. These things, it's like if you've had enough of these experiences, well, what is life? Well, life should be a bunch of positive experiences. It should be a lot of fun, so that's what comedy is. I mean, comedy is like spreading fun, it's spreading love, spreading happiness. You go on stage and everybody has a good time. You say thanks for coming out, everybody cheers, you have fun. It's a positive experience, and that's all you have in life, really, is positive experiences with your girlfriend, your family, your friends, your buddies. That's really all life is.
What sucks? We're lucky enough to have a life, and you'll live your whole life not knowing anything.
Yeah.
When it comes down to like looking up at the stars, like what is all that? Is there other life forms? Is there other things just around you? Yeah, we never will get the answers to any of that stuff.
That's the craziest thing about DMT, because DMT is literally like having a meeting with God. It's like having a meeting with divine, unbelievably wise, incredibly loving energy, like whatever it is, the source of everything. And it leaves you so humbled that after it's over, you have it's like literally like you're still you still look like you still wear the same clothes you are, but you're not really you anymore. I mean, you literally have been changed. You have experienced something that very few humans experience. And the thought to me that people can go through their entire lives and not know about this is an incredible waste of time. It's like your life could be so much more positive and so much more interesting and fascinating, and you would be so much more humble and aware of what you really are and where you really stand if you just have this experience.
Can you get this drug at
totally illegal.
At Dwayne Reed?
It should be. Well, you know, that's the crazy thing is you can get alcohol everywhere. You can go to Dwayne Reed and buy a jug of wine and get effed up, you know? I mean, we have drugs that are available. I mean, how many times you talk to a girl, oh, I don't do drugs. Meanwhile, she's hammered, smoking a cigarette. You know, I mean, everybody, there's drugs, caffeine. I mean, I'm drinking a coffee right now. It's sanctioned. It's a sanctioned drug because it's great for capitalism. It keeps you going. It keeps you working. But there's, you know, there's drugs out there that are actually good for you. There's drugs out there that are actually good for your mind. I do drugs because I find the state that psychedelic drugs put you in very fascinating and very introspective, and you can learn a lot about yourself. You can learn about a lot about life because it removes you and your ego from the equation. You get to look at things from like a newborn's perspective. That's why I do it. I don't do anything like, I don't do coke or meth or anything dangerous, anything that's addictive. I have never done coke. I've never done speed. I've never done heroin. I won't do anything that can hurt you. But psychedelic drugs, they're very different. With this big blanket that we put on everything, we call everything drugs. That's a broad term that encompasses everything from like NyQuil to DMT. You know, I mean, they're all drugs. I mean, they all affect your consciousness. It's like, how do they affect your consciousness, though? I'm not interested in anything that messes me up. I'm not interested in anything that gives me brain damage or anything that makes me, you know, addicted to it. I'm only interested in things that can alter my state of consciousness for the better. It's very, very intense. But it's not dangerous. It's a human neurotransmitter. It's actually one of the most transient drugs ever exhibited in the body because your body brings it down to baseline really quickly. Your body brings it down to baseline in like 10 to 15 minutes. It's really crazy.
What's that mean, down to baseline?
It means, like, say, if you have it, you're high, you go to that dimension, whoa, it blows out, and then whoosh, 15 minutes later, you're back normal. And the crazy thing is, it's just like dreams. You know, you wake up and you're like, I had the craziest dream. It was me and my buddy Mike, and we were kids, but we had a sled, and my mom was there. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, what the hell was my dream?
Yeah.
That's exactly what a DMT trip is like. It's like gold dust slipping through your fingers.